Hello everybody, just have another little dig around in here. Let's see what comes out. Let's have a look. Oh gosh, everywhere. Loss and grief. Let's talk about loss and grief. Everything can be a loss. It's not just about people dying. So for example, if maybe you lose something that's very precious, you change your address, you leave your house, even if you want to move, you know, there's still a loss involved. I think a lot of things are loss. Loss of life, loss of security, loss of friendship, loss of possessions, loss of your delusion or illusion. You know, that is a loss. It's like waking up and realizing what you thought about something probably isn't true, or the person that you thought somebody was isn't the person that you realize they are, because you're the source of everything. So you create your reality through your own perspective, see what you see through your eyes. And so loss can be anything. It can be loss of status, loss of a role. For example, like, you know, if you're a mum for many years, you know, and then the kids all leave home, that's a loss. There's the loss of your looks. There's the loss of everything. Anything can be a loss. So if there's loss, there's grief, because, you know, grief is part of loss. I think a lot of people do a jobby on themselves, especially because I think I have talked about grief and loss when actually someone dies. So this is about maybe the other kinds of loss, the loss of self-control, the loss of your ability to earn money. And I think these are the, you know, not the big ones as in somebody died, which is huge, but they're the lesser ones, but they still matter. They're still important. And if they build up and you don't process them, and a lot of us don't, because they're not that, you know, maybe you lost something or something was lost, whatever it is, all the things we talked about. And so you feel like, oh, your head said, oh, well, you shouldn't feel bad about that. You're trying to equate how you feel about something through your mind instead of actually acknowledging how you feel about it through your heart. And so if we do that, then we're not processing our emotions through our heart. We're not actually honoring what you feel. Oh, well, because our minds will say, oh, well, it's just a purse. The fact that, I don't know, perhaps your grandmother gave it to you. Oh, well, you know, it had meaning. But we kind of brush it under the carpet. It's not a huge thing. So we can brush it under the carpet. But a bit like what I talked about with relationships, you know, when you build bricks, you put bricks on your wall. It's the same with loss. You might, you know, have quite a few small minor losses, you know, that not that big loss, but the smaller ones, and they all compound and build up. And, you know, that's a lot of energy to be wearing and holding and taking through life. And so, you know, we tend to, oh, well, what we've done is repress, deny and avoid. And that was just a little thing, but actually over the years and the months and the decades, it becomes a big thing. And then you wonder why you're depressed. People come in and go, I'm depressed, but I have no idea why. Why do I feel so sad? And then we look back on their life and we talk about the things that happened, and, you know, even small consequential things that I say to people, you know, did anything happen other than, you know, major losses, but did you lose something? Did your house burn down? You know, I mean, that's a big loss, I know. But, you know, a lot of people won't talk about that as loss because, well, no one died. It doesn't matter if no one dies. It's still loss. And you have to honour your feeling around that loss, even if it's something small. You know, a pair of earrings that your mother gave you who's now dead, you know, that's a loss. Oh, well, it's just a pair of it. Oh, well, I can replace them. No, you lost that and you have to honour. And this harkens back to kind of, if you've learned to repress, deny and avoid, then you're not going to acknowledge and honour the loss in the small things. And I suppose I'm here to tell you, that's not honouring your emotions. That's like, oh, it's okay, get over it. It's like saying to a child, Oh, stop crying, for goodness sake. You don't deserve to be crying over something like that you broke your toy or you lost a toy or, you know what I mean? Something, that's what we do, don't we? You wouldn't, well, you might say that to your kids, you know, we probably did get told that. But that's not helpful. That's not validating. That's not acknowledging. There's no empathy there. There's no compassion. And I'm not saying you mollycoddle that emotion. Oh, you poor baby. You know what I mean by mollycoddling? Oh, you make a big fuss. Oh, you poor thing. You know, that kind of sympathy that's sickly and, you know, but you don't disregard it and dismiss it. You might just say, oh man, that sucks. You know, you've lost that. That's tough. Oh, that's horrible when that happens. And you just be with it. You practice this if you've got little kids. Oh man, that sucked. You've lost it. And you just sit there in the moment of it. And you just be with it. Be with that uncomfortable feeling of sadness. And see what happens. Do some experimenting. Experimental behaviours, that's the way to go. See what happens. Children can teach us a lot, I'll tell you what, because they haven't got the brain capacity to hold on and they haven't got the same attachment. Yes, they'll feel the loss, they'll be sad in the moment. But then if you sit with them and go, oh no, that sucks, or that's bad, oh no, that's not, oh that makes you feel unhappy, that's sad. And you just sit there and see what happens to that kid. Put your arm around them. Just be with them. See what they do. Invariably, they'll get up and go, oh well, and they just shake it off like a dog after he's had a fight. They'll just shake it off and then get on, and they'll forget all about it. Because you've been empathic and empathized and validated their emotions, they actually move through them. And if we do that to ourselves, oh man, I lost that. That disappointment. I remember not getting to get a job once, years ago. I applied for this job and I didn't get it. And I felt so disappointed. And, you know, I'd say to people, nearest and dearest, oh, I feel so disappointed. Oh, you'll get another job. Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Oh, well, that job wasn't meant for you. And they had all the answers to try and fix it. And I'm like, and I realised I couldn't get what I needed from anybody else. They were just trying to make it better. And I knew what they were saying. But I had to go and lay down and just be with that disappointment. And I just allowed that disappointment. I just embraced it and held it and sat with it and said, it's okay to feel disappointed. You have every right to feel the way you feel. So I'm just going to sit here with you and feel that disappointment. And I did that for a little while. I can't remember how long I was in the bedroom, probably an hour, maybe two. Maybe I went to sleep. I don't know. I just laid on the bed and just said yes to that disappointment. And then I could get up and get on with the day. But when you take your emotions to somebody and you say, well, they invariably don't like their emotions, so they're not going to like yours either. So they're going to fix it, want to make it right for you, rationalize it. And really, they just want you not to feel the way you feel. Instead of going, God, that sucks, man. I bet you're really disappointed. No, oh, man. Crap. How do you feel? Oh, just be validating, just be empathic. And then when you sit with them and you don't come up with all the rationalizations or, justifying or, oh, well, another one will come along. It just sucks. Let's just sit here and be with that for a minute. And invariably, in those moments, you will feel it and heal it and process it out of your body. Instead of rationalizing it, which is just another way of repressing, denying, avoiding, shoving it under the carpet, dismissing. So can you see, doesn't work. Loss is part of life, and it can be tiny little losses or great big losses. It's all on a spectrum, and we have to honour them all. Now, the smaller losses probably won't take so much time to go through, not like the bigger losses, and there's no time to it. But if you want the sting of the pain to leave you, then you have to acknowledge it, allow it, hold it, nurture it, empathize with it, validate it. It's okay. I hear you. And you're allowed to feel that way. And I'm right here with you. And I'm not going anywhere. So we're just going to sit with it. Which is the very opposite of what we've been taught our whole life. So in this instance, I'm talking about any kind of loss from here to here. This being, I've lost my favourite pen, to this being, I've lost a parent, a husband, a kid, a daughter, whatever. So that's the major. This is kind of the smaller losses and everything in between. And if you honour them, the little ones, I'm telling you now, you'll be a lot better when the big ones come along. This is practice, practice, practice. So, experimental behaviour. Give it a go. What have you got to lose? Just, and if you're listening to this, then maybe you're meant to hear this today for whatever reason. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye for now.